Hello and welcome to Real Watchers Movie Club. My name is Garrett.
And I'm Kevin.
And we are your hosts. Movie Club is a show where we pick a movie every week and discuss it, just like a book club. On today's show, we are covering the Iranian drama, A Separation. Our thoughts and more coming up on Movie Club. Released in 2011, A Separation was directed by Asghar Farhadi and stars Layla Hatami, Payman Mahdi, and Sarah Bayat. Sorry if there's any mispronunciation of those names. A married couple are faced with a difficult decision: to improve the life of their child by moving to another country, or to stay in Iran and look after a deteriorating parent who has Alzheimer's disease. It's ranked 114 on IMDb's Top 250 and currently has a 4.4 out of 5 on Letterboxd and is ranked number 87 on its Top 250. The film was nominated for 1 Academy Award for Best Original Screenplay and won an Academy Award for Best International Feature. Before we dive into our thoughts, though, we do want to issue a spoiler warning for the movie. We're going to talk about everything that happens over the course of the movie, and we don't want to ruin it for you. So you should go check this out on your own, and then come back here and hear what we have to say. So it's okay if you want to pause it here and then come back. But of course, stay tuned to the end of the show to find out what movie we're covering next week, because it's been a little bit of a whiplash going from last week to this week and going into next week. Alrighty, Kevin, so this week is A Separation, a movie that was my choice. I was super excited to watch this. I had obviously heard a lot of good things. I remember this being a huge nomination when the film came out at the Academy Awards that year, because I was a huge fan at the time of the movie that won that year, The Artist. And I saw that A Separation was one of these big films. And I was like, oh, what's that? And then never, obviously that came out when I was in high school. It was not the movie I kind of would have watched at that time. But now, obviously, with where I'm at in my life, I was like, I really want to watch this movie. And I saw that it was on the top 250 for both sites. And so I put it out there. Had you heard of this movie at all?
No, surprisingly. Okay. No, have not heard of it.
All right. Well, then we're getting a complete... Actually, and I had never seen this either. So these are two complete blind looks into this movie. I didn't watch a trailer beforehand. I didn't do anything. I don't know if you did, Kevin.
No, I did not.
All right. Well, there you go. But yeah, so A Separation. Wow.
Yeah. That's exactly the first word that I put in mine as well, is wow.
This movie is really brilliant. And I think that after watching films like Warrior recently, and The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, and even things like The Lord of the Rings, it's been a hot minute. I'm going to look back and see. I'm going to have to look and see what the last movie we did was that was this grounded. Looks like it was High and Low, actually. It was probably the last truly grounded and, realistic film that I did, or that we did, excuse me. So it was really nice to kind of return to that and not do like a sporting movie or a Western. Like this was just a drama, like a true through and through person to person drama. And man, is this a good one. Like the writing is so good here. And it doesn't feel like it's exploiting. I mean, obviously this is made by an Iranian director about contemporary Iran, so it's not like an exploitative cultural piece, but it's just a fascinating look into a culture that I would argue we rarely see and rarely hear much about. They're more of a reclusive country, so because they are, I mean, our government considers them to be, antagonistic, which, whoever you ask on that, but it's cool to see this intimate look into the lives of a contemporary Iranian family. And they deal with a lot of the same things that we do. They still deal with divorce, which I didn't know was allowed in that part of the world. It's a fascinating, intimate look into this family dynamic. And obviously when, for lack of a better word, when shit hits the fan, you genuinely care for everyone. And I think that that's one of the coolest things about this movie too, is that there isn't a bad guy.
No, there isn't.
not even the husband of the affected woman.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's not like a villain. Like he's trying to defend his family and his wife, and he's justifiably upset. Everyone in this
Mm-hmm.
movie has justifiable reasons for what they're doing,
Yeah.
even when they're lying,
Mm-hmm.
which is so fascinating because usually like, you know, I'm tired of the liar reveal storylines and things like that, but
Mm-hmm.
like in this movie everyone lies.
Mm-hmm.
I would say except for um the main wife, what's her name, Simon
Simon.
or Simine, I don't know how to pronounce it correctly.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'd say she's probably the only one with a clean hands.
Mm-hmm.
Although it sounds like she was also lying to her husband because she wasn't actually going to leave Iran,
Yeah.
which they kind of play
Exactly.
with that idea a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But like again, everyone is justified in their reasons for lying,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that that's so well handled. Because again, like anyone lies in a movie, and it makes you immediately, you know, distrusting of them. But I think
Mm-hmm.
people, especially people who have families, who have kids, or people who are married, are even in relationships, you know, like a boyfriend girlfriend relationship, you're going to defend your partner, and you're going to do what's in the best interest of them or of your daughter or your son or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And if you are as adamant or as observing, so that's probably a better word, as observing of their faith as I think it's Razier.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Razier.
Resier, something like that.
Yeah, I hate that I'm mispronouncing these, but
Mm-hmm.
no one's told me the right way to do it, and it's been a minute since I've watched the movie. Um, but like even like she's like obviously she is very devout, and she has her reasons for lying because on one hand it will upset her husband, who will potentially hurt her or even potentially kill her,
Mm-hmm.
um, but will also anger her God, you know, like
Mm-hmm.
in her beliefs and her value system. So
Mm-hmm.
it's a really fascinating look at genuine human drama, which
Yeah, it
and
is.
not just like gossipy, you know, schoolgirls on the playground drama. Like no, this is like actual, well written, and we'll get to it a little bit after. I want to have you talk about it a little bit, but like well written, just like drama. I don't know how else to say it, but
Yeah, but it's a very grounded drama. It's not
yeah.
like, oh, like you and I could, I don't hopefully never relate to this, but it's like you could see it on the news or something like that. It's not like where you have to be wealthy to know about this drama or anything. It's like, it's very, it's I don't want to say it's our league, but it's not what the wealthy always see. It's it can be done in any section of wealth or anything like that. But yeah, going back to what you said about the culture, it is so much more different than the United States as well, and it's really cool to see that culture be put on a screen. And actually, I really understood a lot of it. I was never lost during any of like the
Mhm.
trials with the court or anything, that was very interesting. Court doesn't have jurors; it's just you two in there, and you're just saying what he say, they say, and then if you have a witness, you bring him in, pretty much. Which was it's so different compared to the U.S., which I think is it's really cool to see, um, especially with uh, the guy with Alzheimer's as well. Is it's very heartbreaking to see, because I mean it's his dad, the second main character, the husband. It's his dad. He doesn't want to leave because of this, but the mom, Simon, sorry if we're
Mhm.
pronouncing it wrong again, but wants to leave to do better for her children and her family. And this is unfortunately the one thing that is setting them back, is the dad, unfortunately. But the husband has a good take. He's his dad. Like he can't just leave him there, unfortunately. But
And like
it's
and we don't know like we have advanced memory care facilities in old
mhm,
folks' homes. We don't know if that
mhm.
exists, especially in 2011 Iran. So it's like you
Yeah.
understand where he's coming from. And sorry to
Mhm.
interrupt, but like
You good.
I have family history with Alzheimer's
Mhm.
that I've seen and had to deal with in my life, and it's a scary thing, and it's handled very well in this movie.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's not like in the forefront of this movie, and it's not being called like a disease in this movie as well. It is just something that unfortunately happens to people, and they have to, in this movie, they have to live with it, and they have to get through a day to day with the challenges that they have. I did really like seeing the interactions between the two different families as well. The girl was always with the husband, never really with the wife a lot. The main wife and the main husband, but the other way around, the girl who's pregnant, her kid is always with the wife and never with the dad. So
Hmm.
it takes two different like two different families in certain ways as well, that give two different perspectives, which I really enjoyed.
And I also just noticed in you saying that, I see the parallel, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like Simon has to come in and help her husband or her ex-husband, or whoever, right? She has to come in and help in the same way that the husband of the pregnant woman has to come in and help, and they're
Mm-hmm.
opposites. Like obviously
Mm-hmm.
there's one's a woman, one's a man,
Mm-hmm.
so there is some interesting parallel there, and how much that they have to do with getting things settled, and it all comes to a head in that meeting between the two families, and then you know the revealing of certain truths, and
Certain
getting
lies.
things, certain lies. Yeah, that's
Mm-hmm.
another way to say it. And it's a fascinating scene. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
every single part of this movie is so fascinating. And I do want to start talking about the performances though, because the performances here are so good.
Yeah, they are.
I think, like, obviously got to talk about um, Hatami and Madi, who played Simon and I forget the husband's name, Nader or Nader. Um, they, they play a couple very, very well, and
Mm-hmm.
the fact that they feel like they have chemistry and a history, but we're seeing them after that chemistry is gone,
Yeah.
is something really special. And I do want to say specifically Madi, who plays Nader in this movie, is really, really good. There's one scene in particular where it's after, I believe, he shoves um, the woman out, and
Mm-hmm.
he is like bathing his father, and
And he cries.
he breaks down, and like that's something, like, if you've ever dealt with a family member in a similar situation, you feel that immediately, but then you also feel that anger, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
why are you tying someone to a bed and locking them in their room so you can leave?
Mm.
We're never really given. I mean, we are given, like, she went to the doctor, obviously,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
because and she never gets the chance to tell Nader that she saved his father
Mm-hmm.
when he wandered out into the street. So, like,
Well,
there's so
he
much
she
built up
technically
emotion.
does. She technically does, because she tells Simon while they're sitting in the classroom about what happened.
Yeah,
So one of the family member knows, but why not? I know why not go to the husband about this, because she's kind of scared of him, and she's trying to play into her lie a little bit more. Um, but it's
you
like
mean her
back to
husband
no, no,
or
no.
to Nader?
The to Simon's husband.
Yeah, Nader. Okay.
Yeah. But it's because that she wants to play into that lie of what actually happened, or what didn't actually happen, because she feels like he pushed her down the stairs, presumably, and what happens after that we'll talk about when spoilers are here. But
We can go ahead and spoil.
oh yeah, and pushes down the stairs. She is 5 months pregnant, and then loses the kid that way, because I think she
Was
would
it
have
that far
been.
along? I don't remember the timing.
Yeah, it was 4 to 5 months.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then so I think he would have been grateful, but still really mad that he got out on her watch, pretty much. So she couldn't trust in talking to Nadar about what happened that day because of everything that happened when, unfortunately, she gets hit by the car and loses the kid. So, because she's still going through that trauma as well, a quote, a separation between a mother and her child that's not born yet.
Gotcha.
Mhm.
Yeah, man, it's hard because I don't want to just keep sitting here saying that
It's
it
great.
is so good because it is. Like it is truly something very, very, very special,
Mhm.
and I love it when a film can come from another country and be just as good, if not better, than most of the stuff that comes out in a calendar year from Hollywood or
Mhm.
even our independent studios, right?
Mhm.
Um, and really shows us how it's done. Um, I do have a question for you.
Mhm.
So, obviously, in the film, one of the things that causes Nader to be angry
Provoked. Yeah.
is the missing money.
Yes.
Who took it?
It was the wife in the beginning.
Okay, I'm glad you.
Yeah.
I'm glad
Uh-huh.
because for the life of me, I was like, wait a minute, who did take the money? And I did not remember
Mhm.
that the wife
Mhm.
had to take it to pay the movers.
Yep.
Ah, which is, it's one of those things. Why don't you just tell the other person? But obviously, you can't just you don't have time. You're leaving, whatever. So it's like you can't always be like, oh, the most logical course of action is the one to do.
Oh
So-
yeah. I'll tell him later. After I come home or
Exactly,
something
right?
like
Yeah,
that.
I'll come back later and let them know, and then all of a sudden
Mhm.
now your husband's in court. But yeah, it's just I don't like saying it's a comedy of errors, but it's a drama, right? It's all these
It
conflicting
is.
personalities with conflicting goals, and I would actually say the majority of them have similar goals, which is the defense of
Mhm.
themselves and their family, which
Yeah.
makes it so much more
Themselves.
relatable.
Yeah, themselves and their spouse or their spouses, because
Yeah.
they want to believe their spouses that they are telling the truth the entire time. Unfortunately,
Mhm.
that was not the cause of this, but it's the way that they stood up for their spouses as well. It's like, okay, if you're running with this story, hopefully this is true because I'm gonna have your back no matter what.
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
Alrighty, Kevin. So let's go ahead and get our final thoughts and scores in for a separation. For me, I thought this was a brilliant piece of grounded cinema that just makes you kind of question everything and everyone. It's a brilliant film where you care for everyone and you want the best. You legitimately want the best for everyone, which is a proof of good writing and really
Mhm.
good performances. Um,
Mhm.
I appreciate that this is a slice of life from another country that many people consider to be so different from ours, yet there is a lot that we share in common. And I think that
Mhm.
those core fundamental things like protecting your family, protecting yourself are things that are just universal. And I'm glad that those are what's addressed in the film. So for me, I gave the film a 98 out of 100 and a 4.5 stars out of 5. I really loved this movie, and it's one of my new instant recommendations.
Nice, very good, very good. Yeah, same plane as you. I like how I want to say it's like real world problems in this drama because some people have dealt with everything that is going on here, and there's little pieces like the Alzheimer's or the divorce or not being depressed because she's the husband, not Nadar, but the one of the pregnant lady can't find work. Like everybody has a little bit of everything's not good, horseshoes and rainbows or what glitter and rainbows and everything like that. And I really like that. It's very grounded and gritty. The performances are fantastic from everybody in this. No one outshines a lot of them except for the husband, maybe a little bit, just because we spend a lot more time with him as well. But overall, this is just a fantastic drama movie from another country that we don't get to see a lot of. So I gave it a 99 out of 100 because I thought it was just that damn good.
Gotcha. Yeah, well, that is going to be it for a separation. We both really enjoyed this movie and really highly recommend it, so you should definitely go check it out. But the question now falls to you: what do you think of a separation if you've already watched it. Go ahead and leave those opinions and comments down in the comment section. We'd love to hear what you have to say. Just remember to be respectful of one another, because one of you could take the other to court. But next week, we're going to be covering another sports drama, this one a racing one, in Rush. So very excited to talk about that. We'll get to that next week. And of course, we also have our live stream, which goes live every single Wednesday at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So come and check us out. We love hanging out and talking movie news, reviews, and more with you. And that's it. So thank you so much for watching. And until next time, remember to keep those eyes on the screen.